Election day is over. We have the results, and a new ethics exemption will allow State Senator Dan Wolf to keep his seat. Plus, Town Council will vote on tax rates in town tomorrow night. These stories and more on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Wednesday, November 6th, 2013. I'm Sarah Mantle. Several new faces will join Barnstable Town Council, including Eric Steinhilber in Precinct 2, who defeated incumbent Tom Rugo. In Precinct 5, James Crocker defeated Antonio Blanca. Will Crocker defeated Deb Converse in Precinct 6. Phil Wallace defeated June Daly in Precinct 11. And John Norman defeated Donald Lind in Precinct 12. In uncontested races, Ann Kennedy will remain in Precinct 1. Precinct 3 is now represented by Paul Hebert. Precinct 4 will remain Fred Chirigotis. Jessica Rapp-Grassetti stays in 7. Dr. Deb Dagwan in 8. Sarah Cushing will represent Precinct 10. And Jen Cullum will continue to represent 13. On the school committee, Margot Weber and Stephanie Ellis were both elected for 4-year terms. Ann Quirk was elected as town clerk, and Richard Cross was re-elected to the Housing Authority. Barnstable voters backed question 1, a non-binding question requesting taking action to close the Pilgrim nuclear power plant in Plymouth. About 12,000 voters turned out for yesterday's election. Last night, the school committee heard from Barnstable High School Principal Patrick Clark about the proposed new schedule and graduation rates for Barnstable High School.
It's very, very exciting to be standing here speaking about the possibilities of really taking Barnstable High to the next level. And in a way, we've kind of outgrown our home, not with the physical space at the school, but with the schedule in terms of what we can offer the students who come to Barnstable High every day. So just to rewind and to start with some of the basics for the folks at home or people who are here, the first question is why? The number one overarching goal is to have a premier high school experience for all students at Barnstable High School. And to do that, we should have a contemporary schedule with 7 student selections. And right now, the students are confined to 6 selections. And when you spent some time speaking with seniors who are exiting, they really, in a way, I kind of made them sad because I asked them to reflect on what they missed. And they felt that they missed something because there was that additional class, might have been that creativity class, might have been that extra class they always wanted to take, but they just couldn't fit it in their schedule because those students are top-notch students who are going on to the best schools in the country. We also want to make sure that we have, as Marie mentioned, the embedded supports in this schedule to make sure students who are struggling can get some real-time, immediate support for their learning. So there's a variety of reasons why this schedule is the way to go, but I want to hit a couple of them. We don't have any collaboration time for our teachers at Barnstable High right now. And out of the goodness of their heart, we have a lot of teachers who do the extra time, stay, collaborate, put together common exams, spend some time looking at them to compare what that's telling them about their instruction. But right now, that is really a hit or miss situation because we don't have any embedded time to have professional learning communities. And it's really vital. As we continue to move forward and become a better and better high school, we need to provide professionals with the opportunities to collaborate around curriculum, instruction, and assessment. We certainly can make manageable steps towards mass core alignment over the course of the next 4 to 6 years with a new schedule. Certainly we couldn't be taking those steps if we were confined to what we have without other concerns arising. The other piece, our career pathways, we have 3 functioning career voc tech ed pathways right now, and we plan to be adding 2 for next school year. These pathways include internship experiences, and those internship experiences should be compatible with the real world, so people who own businesses in our community or the surrounding communities can say yes to taking seniors in to work during the school day. And the other piece of this is during our coordinated program review, we were deficient in terms of physical education for all students. So this schedule should be able to hit all 5 A through E. Okay, Matt? So over the course of 2 years, there's been a race to the top committee. There's been 2 different scheduling committees, and the goal of this most recent scheduling committee, chaired by Marie McKay and Brent Jansen, a high school history teacher, was to come forth with 2 schedules that could fit our needs, and they did that. And one of those 2 schedules fits our needs better than the other, and that's the schedule that is the 10-day rotation, red week, white week, 55-minute period, 75-minute period hybrid schedule. And embedded in that schedule is an activity period per week and a professional learning community time per week with an early dismissal 1 time per week of 1:20 p.m. And you can see in the red week that happens on Tuesday, and you can see on the white week that happens on Thursday. The creativity of this schedule, which has some components of Newton North, it has some components of Wachusett, and it has some components of Andover, kind of added in, and some of Brockton, kind of added in to be one hybrid schedule. So this exact schedule, we don't think is exactly this anyplace. But we've taken the best features from some high quality schools and some schools who have gone through this process a couple of years ahead of us, and we think we took the best of all of those schools to make one schedule.
Following a lengthy discussion, the school committee voted unanimously to support the new schedule. That schedule and new graduation requirements will be gradually implemented over the next 6 graduating classes. The Ethics Commission recently approved an exemption that will allow State Senator Dan Wolf to keep his seat. The commission ruled in August that the senator was in violation of conflict of interest laws because his company Cape Air has contracts with Massport. The new exemption would allow pre-existing non-negotiable contracts like that for those wishing to hold public office. Wolf said he is happy with the outcome.
The most important thing about this, though, isn't how it impacts me. It's that it really does clarify and open the door and facilitate a lot of people who are either serving in public office or are public employees or would like to in the future. One of the things a lot of people don't realize is that there are folks now, just like I was, who literally are serving in conflict right now without even knowing it. And I think the commission recognized that, and that's why they have moved forward to pass this new regulation.
The exemption will need to go through a public comment period before taking effect. Wolf says he plans to seek re-election and has not ruled out a run for governor in the future. Town Council meets tomorrow night. Public hearings on the fiscal 14 tax levy will be held. This includes the tax factor, residential exemption, and commercial exemption. Finance Director Mark Milne describes those 3 options Town Council could approve.
The first one being whether or not to adopt a factor of 1, which would mean that the tax rates between the property classes are all the same. They do have an option of shifting up to 50% to the commercial, industrial, personal property class from the residential class if they choose to do so. That would be adopting a factor of something other than 1. That's known as the split tax rate. So that's decision number 1. Decision number 2 is to whether or not to adopt a residential exemption, which would exempt a portion of the assessed value for each primary residence in the town of Barnstable from taxation. So that would provide a tax benefit to the primary residential property owners here in town up to a certain assessed value point. And then the third decision is to whether or not to adopt a small business exemption, which would shift a portion of the commercial property tax levy to between qualifying and non-qualifying property.
Town Council meets Thursday night at 7 in the Town Hall hearing room. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Mannel.